Sparo drivo segauma kepus.
Nuos odime, nuos demivos magularios.
Dochem palitnut statilux daor.
This is a really amazing scene because we get to see the power dynamics of Daemon and Rhaenyra at play immediately. And right from the start, he's sitting on the Iron Throne, showing this great amount of want that he has to be able to capture it. But the coolest part is the way that Rhaenyra handles this. She handles it tongue-in-cheek. She's not intimidated by him. After you watch the episode, to see all of his brutality and how he really revels in violence, to see their dynamic, which is kind of sweet and caring, it goes against the Daemon that everyone else gets to see.
Paveso goskorio situmasta.
Che poi uno sud cotion pradela.
Teatranno sit isa.
Exie ultratan.
You can hear those veiled threats of who actually is going to be the heir, how Daemon has really laid his claim onto it, with him sitting on the Iron Throne as he shares this, to Rhaenyra, who also would love to have the throne and has, as a woman, been constantly slighted for the hopes of having a boy heir from her father. So this is two people that want the same thing. And usually what happens is we end up with a lot of ego and bravado, and that can lead to jealousy and infighting where we see each other as rivals. But in this case, they don't.
Tico, si agevo. Ergotis, berium.
Nase pavron qui jalina.
You can see the small smile on her face as well as his. There's a warmth that's between both of them, and I think that for Daemon, he doesn't actually see Rhaenyra as a threat. I think that he has an affection for her. Perhaps that's a Targaryen affection, because we know the history with Targaryens, or perhaps he just sees her as a niece, but there seems to be more there than just familial affection. Is that too much to say? When we talk about power dynamics between two people, especially two people that in most cases would see each other as rivals, he doesn't stay on the throne, which would have given him an air of hierarchy over her. And they have this cute teasing with each other, which we do with people that we see as either close friends or as equals. So they can share this companionship with each other without worrying about either one offending the other.
I bought you something. Do you know what it is?
It's Valyrian steel, like Dark Sister.
But you do see that little bit of a power play. When she takes an interest in it, he pulls it away. She's shown her want, and that does go into that power dynamic when we offer someone something and then once they actually want it, we pull it away from them, which makes them want it even more. We have a natural inclination to want things that are difficult for us to be able to get. It increases our feeling of value in that thing. Things that are easy to kind of have, that are surrounding us, we sometimes don't feel as much worth with it. She doesn't bite, but instead of her playing into this would have been her reaching or grabbing for it, which would have allowed him to play her more, kind of like a fish on a hook, and draw her in. She puts her hands behind her back, and that statement says, I'm not going to be playing this game, which again keeps them on equal footing. Often we can use offerings of gift or power or control or fear in order to change power dynamics, to make one person feel like they have more control or actually have more control over a situation.
Turn around. Now, you and I both own a small piece of our ancestry.
And it isn't just any gift that he's given her. It's not some sort of fancy bauble that is meaningless. He gave her a piece of their history, a piece of Valyrian steel that's meaningful. And when someone gives a gift that really took thought and energy, that they took the time to be able to see something that someone else couldn't have or was difficult to get, it's so much more meaningful. That value goes beyond monetary value. Not only that is about their history, but that they now both share together. It's interesting because when we see Daemon doing all of these horrible brutalities, this scene of doing something that's so sweet and thoughtful really does go against that, which makes his character much more interesting because he's so many more layers than just being completely evil or just being completely good, which makes characters' evaluations very dull because you can already assume what they're going to do, either the best of things or the worst of things. This makes us wonder about what are the things that he's capable of, and what are the things that he really cares about? Does he care about Rhaenyra more than the throne, or the throne more than Rhaenyra?
They're waiting for you.
And this is the scene that really made me think twice that this wasn't just a power grab or a manipulation of how he was reacting with Rhaenyra, because there's no one that's really going to be paying attention to him right now, and you can see the pain on his face when no one else is going to be noticing or caring. The way that we deal with things when no one's looking, that's so much more true to who we are as a person than when we're putting on a show for someone that we want to be able to manipulate or for other people that we want to be able to control. Even though she has a role to play and he wants her to be able to do this, his voice is soft. It isn't commanding, it's thoughtful. He really wants to be there and feels her pain, shows that he really does care for his niece and also his brother. If he just wanted the throne and wanted to usurp his brother, he could have used this moment to be able to pull Rhaenyra to his side. Because when we're really upset, we're much more vulnerable to what people say to us and how we feel. And so right away, she speaks up against her father, how he really just wanted to have a boy, and that would have been his moment of happiness. But instead of doing that, he states in a really honest way that your father needs you right now. You have to be here more than ever. Even with all of his brutality, the things that we see him for, he's so much more than that. He does have a heart. I don't know how much of a heart, but there's a kindness, a caring that is there where he still cares about his family, and when they're in pain, he wants them to feel better. I haven't read the book, so I'm not really sure. You can put down in the comments, without any spoilers, please, in the comments below if I am completely off on his character, but this is definitely what comes to me through the way that these scenes are being filmed. George R. R. Martin did say that the show is going to be different than what the books present. Not all of us can depend on a dragon to keep us out of trouble. Some of us have to rely on our wits. Why don't you prepare yourself with today's sponsor, Brilliant, where you can gain an understanding of the basics of computer science, physics, quantum mechanics, game theory, and everything you need to be prepared for whatever the world may throw your way. Brilliant is an amazing tool for learning STEM interactively, so if you want to learn more about science, technology, engineering, mathematics, just check out Brilliant's growing catalog of courses. They're specifically crafted to help you learn concepts by working through them yourself in visual, hands-on ways. And all the lessons are presented in bite-sized pieces so you can learn at your own pace, no pressure. And if you ever feel stuck, Brilliant has in-depth explanations that help you break down the material even more. Like their course on logic with challenging problem-solving exercises, you'll construct those critical thinking skills that are the basics for mathematical reasoning and scientific thinking. Open your eyes to the world around you by solving puzzles with science, and in it you'll explore the laws of physics and principles of engineering and learn the rules as you play. You'll explore concepts and solve problems interactively. So to get started for free, visit brilliant.org/Georgia Dow or click on the link in the description. The first 200 people will get 20% off Brilliant's annual premium subscription. So just click on the button on the screen or head on over to brilliant.org/Georgia Dow. Clicking on the button really does help my channel, so thank you. And what else helps me is by clicking on the playlist above for more videos on your favorite TV shows and my reactions. Those are my initial thoughts on Daemon and Rhaenyra's initial interactions and their relationship with each other. I'm really excited to be able to see how this all plays out. Let me know what are your thoughts if you think I completely missed the mark, and what are your favorite Daemon and Rhaenyra scenes.